Good afternoon, everyone. Emerging technologies have been disrupting all the industries we know today. Big corporates are always playing catch up with new innovations, but legacy systems and inadequate data models are always troubling them. That's where we have had new companies stepping in to solve these problems, which big organizations cannot. Wealth management space is nothing different. It is being disrupted very, very fast, and all of us here know how technology is changing the world of wealth management here. In today's session, I'll be taking you through some future life scenarios where we look at life, how life would be in 2030. We would look at emerging technology and trends that would make this life possible. And then we'll come to emerging technology in financial advice on how they are changing that advice world. I'll share a personal case study where how emerging technology can be used to improve the overall video meeting experience for our users. And finally, I'll end up with some predictions for all of us to go and think about. Now, I request all of you to close your eyes and imagine yourself in your bedroom comfortably sleeping. Imagine you wake up 10 years later. You are now in the ultimate tech zone, tucked away in your pajamas, in your mattresses, whatever you think of in your bedroom, are sensors, devices, ensuring that you get the best night's sleep. Your vital parameters are being tracked continuously. An ambulance will be at your doorstep to ensure you get the right medical attention. You get ready for work, and then you step down. You will sit in a driverless car. We all know how quickly self-drive cars are progressing with the big techs in the world focusing on it. You reach your office, you reach your desk. You'll now be surrounded by a physical robot sitting beside you and a virtual avatar of your actual human colleagues around you. You've had hard days of work, you come back home, your home is set up to make it the most relaxing and happy time with your family. One thing for sure, there'll be no more switches in your house. Now let's see what will make such a life possible. What are the emerging technologies which will take us there? Gartner has done a study looking at 22 emerging technologies that will change the face of the world we live in. Top three I would like to speak about is number one, in the medium term, you will see low-code application platforms. So these will, in simple terms, like we make presentations today, anyone and everyone can make a presentation. In nearer time, anyone and everyone can make softwares, build products using low-code applications. This will severely increase the reach and scope on how we can work better and deliver better value. The next one is advanced virtual assistants. These are intelligent chatbots which will give you near human-like experience when you communicate with them. And finally, that's one of my favorites in the long term, is augmented reality cloud. Another imagination, you are walking on the road, you feel hungry, you are finding a restaurant. You look at different restaurants on the road, you will see a user-centric digital experience on the physical screen where you'll have a look at what the restaurant ratings are, what the menu is, what the price is, and which food item you should try. You don't need to take out your phone at all. And what will these technologies drive trends? So three main trends which we'll see is interfaces and experience. It will change the way we interact with the world. Then would be business enablers. This is mainly about how the business models, ways of working, and target operating models will change with these new technologies. And finally, the big productivity revolution. As humans, we can do a lot of things, but there is a limit on us. organizations will have a confluence of technologies which will do repeatable tasks in a faster, more accurate, and in a higher volumes than humans can do. How do all these technologies shape up the financial advice industry future? Now let's look at a typical financial advice journey. I was talking to a friend after a long time. We met in a pub, and I was generally talking about my work, that how I am trying to digitally transform the financial advice industry, and ended up asking him, what is he doing about his finances? He gave some woolly answers that I am investing in stocks, in putting some money here, or just keeping it in the bank. That's when I walked him through this journey where he kept on taking some notes, but yeah, in the end, realized that he needs some help with his financial planning. So you always start with searching and selecting a financial advisor suitable to your needs. The advisor will then try to build a relationship with you just to get to know each other, and then they would understand your needs and goals, your current financial situation, and your risk appetite. They will take back this data, do the analysis with their team, and come back with a recommendation. This recommendation then gets presented to the client, and if the client is happy, we go about implementing it and then monitoring and reviewing the performance of the portfolio recommended to the client, as well as the client's financial situation or any changes to their circumstances at regular intervals of time. Now let's look at each of these stages and see how technology is shaping them up. The first stage, searching and selecting a financial advisor. Into the future, you would no more type into your phones or maybe laptops to search for something. Voice search would simply become the norm. You'll just search for financial advisor in London area and you'll get a list. You'll be speaking with advanced virtual assistants like chatbot who will help you understand your needs and guide you in the right direction. AI and ML are going to be everywhere in this. That will help you build a comfort rating, a trust score, which becomes very vital in the financial advice industry. And finally, the VR and AR, virtual reality and augmented reality experience, is you'll see lots of companies showing you how is it like working with them, how will they solve their problems through a VR and AR experience. Once you have selected an advisor, then that's where the relationship gets established, and then we would have a nice interactive video, which is a mix of face-to-face video meetings and some options to manipulate things, and then going ahead with understanding the client needs. As we know, open banking has already made inroads, and a lot of technology companies are using it. We will soon have open finance and open data, which will help advisors and customers capture the hard facts for the clients and make the necessary additions to their fact-finding so that advisor then spends more time in understanding clients' needs and their risk appetite rather than just gathering facts. Again, AI and ML would help determine clients' risk appetite and capacity for loss through gamification. I'll talk more about it in my case study. Moving on, that's when once the advisor has gathered all the information, they will go ahead and analyze and make recommendation. Today, the advisor has to go through a lot of paperwork, go through various systems. In the near future, and even currently, we have seen several technologies coming up who build a recommendation engine, who can come up with recommendation for the most suitable products a customer should take into. That's what would happen. And when the advisor completes the recommendation, when they want to present it to their client, currently it's a paper-based or a written document. That's going to definitely change. We are going to have a nice interactive video again, where customers will be shown that video and they can see how the different scenarios can change their financial situations in the near future. Advisors will be focused more on the softer aspects, on helping customers understand what advice looks like and what are the things they need to consider. Once the client is happy, then the advisor goes ahead with the implementation. Now, this currently is a big black hole. In the implementation stage, neither the advisor nor the customer knows what is happening with the progress of whether the customer's funds have gone ahead and the transaction has happened, or is it where are we? So that's where straight-through processing via advanced automation will take place, and we would have immediate deals happening rather than waiting for days, weeks, if not months currently. AI/ML, again, would play a key role in continuously monitoring and tracking the product performance, the portfolio performance, and also customers' situation will be regularly analyzed based on the open banking, finance, and open data which we'll get soon. Now, we have had a look at how the entire journey of advice would change with emerging technologies. I would like to take a slightly different direction and help you understand the complex world of advice. So today, a lot of things come under advice. It starts from the do-it-yourself category, where customer knows what is it they want, and they simply go ahead and invest into different products. Then comes slightly more complicated guidance, where investment consultants would come in and provide you a direction on where you should invest your money. And finally, there's regulated advice, which is where the qualified financial planner will meet you either digitally or physically and give you a recommendation that is suitable to your needs and will continuously help you go through that journey. The amount of support a customer needs will depends upon two main things. Number one is the customer's level of awareness on what financial planning is, and number two is the complexity of investment they want to make. As you see in this chart here, with the increasing complexity, the need for regulated advice becomes more and more. That's the green part here. Now, with the advent of technology in the wealth management and financial advice area, you may have come across terms like robo-advice, hybrid advice, and our traditional human advice. Now, where do these? So for me, robo-advice is that there's no human intervention. It comes up with a recommendation based on your current circumstances, your goals, and risk appetite. Robo-advice has a role to play in the DIY category, to slightly inching into simpler advice like recommending which ISA for the client. Now then comes the hybrid advice, which is recently come into the news, and several new players, including M&G, are trying to make a mark in that. Now, hybrid advice will enjoy the best of both worlds of human and robo-advice, and its play area would start somewhere closer to the guidance and lean into a more streamlined advice area. Now, does that mean human advice is no longer required? I would say not. The more and more complex the advice gets, the investment gets, that's when human support and human trust comes in. And for human advisors, the play area would be right from the middle, where they start with some guidance and end up with a holistic financial planning for the clients. Now let's look at my personal experience, a case study on improving the video meeting experience. Now, a typical video meeting journey has 3 stages. Number 1 is the pre-meeting stage, where you go about setting up the meeting and sending reminders. The second is your in-meeting stage, where the actual meeting happens and you discuss with the client. And the third one is the post-meeting stage, where you get reports, analytics, and build your learning from the meetings. Now, in the pre-meeting stage, 2 main things that are going to change is number 1 is that customers would get a personalized invite based on their needs, so based on their profile, so that they get the right message from the provider, which gives them that comfort that they've made the right decision to choose their financial advisor. The second one is they will get dynamic reminders. Reminders would never be, you have a meeting 2 days from now, please prepare. They would be more customized depending upon where the customer is on the onboarding journey. And then that way the customer knows clearly what is expected from them in order to have a fruitful meeting. Now, the in-meeting experience, this is where things would get really, really interesting. We have a number of advanced technologies here. Face reading AI and advanced analytics will help understand what is customer going through during the meeting, and it will guide the advisor to help customer understand the difficult concepts of financial advice and make them comfortable throughout. Conversational AI and bots would assist the advisor to ensure that they choose the right words, the right products, and give the right advice to the client. And finally, gamification is going to play a big, big role here to understand how customers' risk appetite is calculated and how they can improve it or change it. And in the post-meeting stage, now we've been collecting a lot of data in the pre-meeting and in-meeting stage, and that's where we would have very strong reporting. We will have intelligent reporting to understand the customer experience rating. Customers no longer will need to feed in a survey or give a 5-star or 4-star rating. All these information would be captured through cues and customers' reaction within the meeting. Then analytics would be used on structured and unstructured data of voice, video, and text to feed into these reports. And finally, insights would be drawn and learnings would be created for advisors to improve their performance and then also to train the next generation of advisors. Now, finally, I come to predictions. Now, what does future look like for advice, and what would be the main drivers? Personally, I feel major innovations would come in the space on how do you improve customer experience and build trust with them. And the second one is how do we improve advisor productivity? As we have read, number of advisors is on a decline. So we want the existing set of advisors to be able to get as many customers as possible. And massive transformation would be led by emerging technologies like VR and AR. Open banking, open finance, and open data are going to be a regular part of anyone's day-to-day work. And low-code applications, my favorite, is going to massively transform the things for all the businesses here. And the last and finally, hybrid advice is going to be the model of the future. Thank you.